Everybody, and welcome to this evening's meeting of the Cabinet. Apologies for a slightly late start due to traffic and various other problems. Firstly, for those who have just arrived, and for all others, the fire evacuation procedures. No fire alarms scheduled for this evening, therefore if the alarm sounds, please evacuate the building immediately. The fire exits are located at the rear and side of this room. Go down the stairs, trying not to bump into any other group meetings taking place on the way down there, and meet in the War Memorial Park. Please note this meeting is being webcast. We have apologies for absence from three members, Councillors Finney, Golding and Councillor Mrs Ostleton. Do we have any declarations of interest on this evening's agenda? I don't think we do. Good. In which case, there is no public participation this evening. So we can move straight on to confirm the minutes of the previous meeting. Are we happy with the minutes of the previous meeting? I'll sign those later on. Urgent items, there are none, nor are there any referrals from full council or reports from other committees or petitions. So we can move straight to the council plan and medium-term financial strategy. The first paper B on here. I think the point to emphasise is that the council plan, of course, is not different this year from the previous year. We proposed and accepted last year a 4-year plan. This is simply year 2 of that 4-year plan, and therefore what we're concerned with essentially tonight is the medium-term financial strategy supporting that plan. Can we therefore, Councillor Isaac, can you introduce that? We have 2 items here, just for everybody's benefit. Item 11, which has a recommendation which we need to take at the end of it, and item 12, which is just a key decision from the forward plan. Councillor Isaac.
Well, thank you, Leader. As you say, these are proposals for updating the medium-term financial strategy, taking it forward another year, from 2000, so it runs from 2014-15 to 2017-18. And these proposals are for consultation. I'm pleased to report that these proposals maintain our council plan priorities for capital expenditure and delivery of council services to our residents. This at a time of fluctuating and reducing financial support from central government, which represents a material and enduring change in our finances. The updated budget plans include, I'm very pleased to say, proposals for a freeze in council tax, despite the pressures on our finances in both 2014-15 and 2015-16. We're also identifying further savings and additional income for 2014 and 15, and setting ourselves future year budget savings and income targets. Yet, despite this, we are providing one-off and ongoing funding for key council priorities, including promoting the borough to attract a new investment and jobs with a marketing budget of £200,000, and tackling the problems caused to residents by some of our overgrown trees, with a budget of £100,000 per annum for the next 4 years. The proposed updated strategy forecasts a balanced budget in 2014-15 and 2015-16, and sets future year unidentified savings targets of 1.28 million in 16-17 and 1.902 million in 2017. So there's work to do in the years ahead if we're going to continue to maintain our prudent balanced budgeting. There now follows consultation on these proposals during November and December, and then they'll be considered by Cabinet in January 2014 for approval by Council in February next year. I recommend these budget proposals, which demonstrate the resilience of our finances in enabling us to provide the services valued by our residents without imposing higher rates charges on them.
Thank you very much, Councillor. Members, do you wish to comment on this? Councillor Jarwood.
Thank you, Leader. I just wanted to comment on one thing in respect of item 11, which is the recommendation to Council of allocating £1 million towards the local infrastructure fund. This is another important step in delivering the infrastructure that residents tell us they want in the communities that have taken development. And this is a really important step because we have taken the difficult decisions in the past to ensure that this money is available now and going into the future. And I commend it and the portfolio holder for bringing it forward.
Thank you very much. Anybody else? In which case, can I just emphasise that this is now being agreed for consultation. That the forecast as it stands at the moment is a forecast. That it will no doubt change by the time we get to firming it up as being a budget. If for no other reason that we will be at least another 2 to 3 months further down the road, and other things will have happened within our expenditure profile which will cause minor changes to be made. That is on top of what may well come out of the consultation process, and I think the consultation last year enabled us to produce some interesting new initiatives as a result of what was fed back, and I hope the same thing happens again this year. Are we happy to make these recommendations to Council? Good, thank you very much. In which case then let us move on to item 13, which is the Corporate Equality Plan, paper C. Councillor Lucius.
Thank you, Leader. The recommendation is as per the paper. This is asking Cabinet to approve the new Corporate Equality Plan. This simply merges the Equality Plan and the Single Equality Scheme into a much more concise and understandable and readable document, and the officers have worked extremely hard in putting this together. It has been through Ofcom and it had cross-party support, and in the circumstances I would move the recommendation.
Any comments? Because I think it's actually a very well worded document now, so it's good. In which case, don't stop while you're ahead, Councillor. Carry on with the item 14, which is safeguarding children and vulnerable adults policy.
Yes, thank you, Leader. The recommendations as per the report, it's just to note that paragraph 2.1i, it states that it went to the Economic Prosperity and Performance Overview and Scrutiny Committee and actually went to Community Wellbeing. The rest of the report's correct, it's just to note that amendment there. Again, this is to ask Cabinet to approve the policy and procedure for safeguarding of children and vulnerable adults. We don't by law have to have this in place, but it's good practice to do so. And again, the officers put together a very readable and understandable document. It has been through Ofcom and again got full support. The main thing that the Ofcom said was that they would like training available for counsellors if they are put in a position where they have to deal with safeguarding children and vulnerable adults, and that's something that the officers have taken on board and that we're going to look into dealing with. But I would put forward the recommendation and ask that it's been agreed.
Any comments? Yes, Councillor Donnell.
I'm going to break a rule of my political career and say I'm really pleased we have a policy we don't have to have. I usually say we shouldn't have policies we're not made to have. This is the exception to the rule, and I'm very pleased we've actually gone forward with it.
Yeah, I would entirely agree with that view. Welfare of children and the welfare of vulnerable adults has to be two of the most important underlying principles which we carry through everything which the Council does. It is, I think, of great benefit, particularly to officers and to councillors as well, to have a policy so they know how to react and they know what to do in a certain circumstance and how we should be approaching these things. I think the training is very important. because we do all at one stage or another engage with both these groups in the course either of our ward work or certainly in some cases in terms of our cabinet work. So it is very important that we're all fully trained, we all take on board the responsibilities which are enshrined within this policy. And I agree, I'm very pleased to see it as well. We're very happy to see that put into place. Good, thank you. In which case we just have item 15 left, which is the matters dealt with by portfolio holders under delegated powers, and these are for noting. So noted. In which case we can draw this meeting to a close. Thank you all very much.